Welcome to Riff. This is an auspicious day. Welcome, mate. Are you excited?
I am excited because today we begin Killers.
We begin Killers, Iron Maiden's second album, the start of their relationship with Martin Birch.
This is where it begins.
Well, this is where that relationship begins and you get a slightly different sound. But of course, this is the difficult second album. All that energy of Iron Maiden has now become transformed into a business machine. So they have to produce an album. But they're tired. They've been touring.
And this is interesting because, so we know I love Iron Maiden. That is a given. And so when we listened to the album Iron Maiden by Iron Maiden, I knew a lot of the songs on there. There were some that were new to me, but there were things like Iron Maiden, Running Free, Phantom of the Opera. What else was on there that I knew? That's it, probably.
Iron Maiden. Yeah, you didn't know stuff like Prowler or Charlotte the Harlot.
No. So, this is interesting because that album was challenging for me because I know the songs that I did recognise off that. I know them in such a different context to how it was presented in that first album, and we spent the whole of that series discussing those differences and how that, where it was striking and where it was not. But we've got the track listing for Killers in front of us, and I recognise 2.
Okay, so I thought you might go for 3.
Well, I mean Killers, but I don't think I've listened to it.
Well, you heard them play it live, like 6 months ago.
Did I? They played Killers.
They played Killers part of the set.
Oh, well, I was having a lot of fun. There may perhaps, and also there was like, I knew that set list, and I'm like, they're about to start playing the most amazing Maiden set list. I feel like they wrote it for me because Rhyme and the Ancient Mariner was on there, Seventh Son was on there, like they were. So it might have been Killers that I was like, now it's the wee and beer break.
Okay,
I think that might have been the. So we're gonna start at the top.
Yeah, we're not going to do just a bit like with the first album. We're going to do a relative deep dive on this. I think this album is important, but I think we could meander badly if we're not careful.
And the thing is, we're desperate to get to Number of the Beast.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, I think when you were introducing me to Iron Maiden, it was Number of the Beast was the album that I actually listened to all the way through. And even though there are still some more meandering points on that album, it's where Iron Maiden starts to get the sound that set up the career that follows. You know, like we got some cult classics on Iron Maiden by Iron Maiden. This is why Killers is going to be interesting because I don't really. All right, so Wrathchild, I'm really excited for that. But like, so you know, we're going to do the Ides of March,
right? Which
I know they come out to sometimes, but. Yeah, there's
what's the first thing you notice about Eddie?
It's much closer Looking to Number of the Beast.
His hair is now straight and flat. His hair's no longer punky.
Yeah, right. So there's already a rebrand happening.
So we're seeing that evolution of that, and the evolution of the genre establishing itself.
Yeah.
And of course, the Ides of March is a famous quote from Julius Caesar, beware the Ides of March, the 15th of March.
Right, okay.
So we're once again, before we go into the song, seeing some of Maiden's sense of literature and reference and historicity. The first track's not called Baby I Love You. The first track is called The Ides of March. Should we drive straight in?
Yeah, let's do it. Still Clive Burr?
Yep, still Clive Burr.
Still Clive Burr. Still...
No, Adrian, now the second guitarist.
So who left?
Dennis Stratton.
Dennis Stratton left. And vocal...
Still Paul Di'Anno.
Right, okay. There's all... So production-wise... I know we've listened to 18 seconds, so... there's not much of a remark to make other than the fact that, like... It's still quite akin to the first album.
Do you not think it is a warmer, softer production? I don't mean the sound's not aggressive still.
It's a bit cleaner.
Yeah.
It's a bit clearer. Yeah, for sure. But still, in terms of the writing, those like sort of medieval parallel fifths kind of chords that we've got here with these big drum moments in between. It's not the song I thought it was.
It's interesting.
What's also the one that goes bow now now now? It's very similar to that. There's another Maiden song that's quite.
Just hold your horses, Tiger.
Oh,
hold your horses there, young Brutus. Also, that first album is by and large, and we listened to Remember Tomorrow, which is much more kind of traditional metal song. That first album's quite frenetic.
Yes.
It was really on it. Immediately on this second album, we're being given much more grandeur. We've got a bigger...
Pacing ourselves,
bigger sense of pace and scope. The sounds... Everything's oddly, by going slower, it's more expansive, it seems to me.
Already more cinematic.
Yeah. And we know this is an instrumental, and it's 1 minute 45 seconds of instrumental. What other band opens their second album with a instrumental? I mean, a band that trusts itself and trusts its fans to still love this.
Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, there is no one. Excuse me. I think we talked about it a lot previously. Clive's rat-a-tat-tat.
Yeah.
Rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat.
Scat, da-ba-da-bat, ba-ba-da-bat,
He's
ba-ba-da-bat.
just a little bit more focused, neater than Nico is, in my view.
And metronomic.
Yeah.
Most importantly, Nico is loose.
Yeah, and melodic.
And we love him.
Yeah, and melodic and expansive.
Yeah.
But you're going to say?
Well, I was going to say, Clive Bear is his time is better. It is, but that doesn't mean that we don't love Nico because of the character and the amount of personality that Nico brings to his drumming. I think it's really interesting to begin with. It's just fucking have a guitar solo straight away. Go on.
Yeah, right.
We know who we are now.
You can already hear the production's changed that guitar.
Underneath, the bed of guitars that solo's sitting on. There seems to me like there's more double tracking here. There's layering.
Longer time in the studio, better
more
producer,
money,
more money, all of those things.
To then produce an album that I don't recognise any songs on.
Wow.
I'm definitely thinking of us that goes into bam 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 bam. Is that album number 1? Is it one of the instrumental tracks on the first album?
Yeah, maybe Transylvania.
Yeah, that's weird. But it's so right. So I am picking up as Transylvania starts with the similar bang 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 like.
No, Transylvania starts much more akin to Phantom of the Opera, I think. God, how esoteric can you get? What I think is interesting about this is that this is a band who've already got one instrumental on their first album.
Yes.
They have an instrumental song on their second album, which 50-odd years later, they're still prepared to use as their intro music.
Yeah, right.
Just think about what that means. So this is a band who start with Doctor Doctor, but as an intro track. Everyone knows it's Doctor Doctor. Maiden's on next.
When did they do that? When did that?
Well, it's a really interesting conversation. I was trying to find out. I knew you'd ask that at some point.
Because they can't be doing that in the Cart and Horses because they wouldn't have had the ability to do playback before.
I found a Reddit that had an example of a bootleg of them playing it before they came on in 1982 in a gig in Milan.
Okay.
So there are examples of it a long time ago.
A long time ago, but still a good way after they'd graduated from the Cart and Horses.
Yeah. But what you do see is this is a band with a sense of theatre. So I'm almost certain they wrote this.
I mean, they have a song on the first album called Phantom of the Opera.
Right, but I'm almost certain Steve wrote this with the idea of it being their own intro music.
What not to do when your singing teacher shits on you.
Yeah, right. But I think he didn't think that, because obviously when we saw them on the current tour, when they play it, they're not playing it. This is much like the start of Aces High. Yeah, and I think that's because Steve wrote this because he had a sense of theatre.
Yeah,
he wanted this piece of music that was going to prelude. That was going to be the prelude before the excitement that followed.
100%, and this is something like any of my friends listening to this who have worked with me since I started at university and started making my tracks and music, will now realise that this is where part of my identity as a musician comes from, because, like, honestly, for so long, regardless of whether it was worth it or not, Iron Maiden can walk out to a pre-record because of their sense of theatre, but also because of their size. I was doing gigs in the student union at college where we'd have 3 minutes of pre-record, and all of my friends was doing another fucking walkout thing, isn't he? And then it would be a load of synths that build up, and it's like, this is where it came from. What else am I supposed to do? I was learned that's what you do a gig. You build up the energy. Except it never worked quite well because obviously we're just like stand at the side of the stage in full view, waiting for the thing to happen.
Well, but I think so you've got Eddie. Yeah. As a figure, you've got that sense of pyrotechnic and lighting, and so I think Steve thought, I want a piece of music that we control, that is our prelude.
Yeah, pretty camp, right?
Yeah, right. I mean, pretty theatrical, and we're going to go back a bit because I think I want to just listen to those last few seconds again, so we get to the end of the song, because I've got a point to make about what.
Not yet.
But for me, growing up with this on vinyl, which would have been the predominant form it was released in, people would have got it on cassettes, but most people would have bought this as a record. That song is actually the intro to Rothschild.
Right, so we'll do Rothschild in a separate episode, but let's listen to that transition when we talk about this in a moment, because in the same way, like Songs of the Key of Life, Stevie Wonder, Sir Duke is always followed by I Wish. That's because that's how the track listing works, and you can't. The end of Sir Duke, gong 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 gong. It has to happen when I play a gig, because obviously we play Stevie Wonder songs all the time and functions and things. When someone has I Wish and Sir Duke in a set list and they're not one after the other, it's a crime. It's completely wrong. Whenever I build set lists and we're doing both are in the set list, we finish Sir Duke and we go straight into I Wish. It's how you do it, and it's exactly what you do here. So I think it's right. We should listen to the first 30 seconds of Rothschild here.
We'll go back and do that bit again, but that's my muscle memory. I think the most important example of that in rock. And please come up with your own examples. Like, what track just goes into the next track for you? But the most perfect example is Cowboy Song, Into the Boys Are Back in Town.
Ah.
It's just
okay, because I don't know the Cowboy Song.
So it's just every time he says stuff like that, I know you're all going to say what a bad uncle I am.
That's why we're doing this.
Right? They're just these perfect moments where one song just sort of becomes part of the other. So we're going to go back to that last moment in the Ides of March and tip it into Rothschild as our prelude.
That is Rothschild.
Just so we can get that last 10 seconds and then go into Rothschild as our prelude to our Rothschild episode.
Immediate new sound. Immediate, like, again, bass is at the forefront.
Stop! Don't do the episode yet.